This movie baffles me every time we watch it.
What do you mean?
The instructions are very clear. Don't feed the gremlins after midnight. Don't get the gremlins wet. How hard is that?
Hi, guys. Hi, honey.
Hey.
Oh, we're honey now, are we?
Yes, since their relationship became carnal, Penny has upgraded his designated term of endearment, thus distinguishing him from those she calls sweetie, usually in an attempt to soften a thinly veiled insult.
You're boring people, sweetie.
Hey, what's going on with Raj?
Well, the good news is he has no problem with my mother's Triscuffil.
Hard to believe, but go on.
The bad news is he says he's getting deported.
What do you mean he's getting deported?
I believe it means that the U.S. government is going to expel him from the country. He could then either return to his native India, immigrate to another country that's willing to accept him, or wander the high seas as a stateless pirate.
Oh, Sheldon.
Forgive me, as you know, I'm not adept at reading facial cues, but I'm going to take a stab here. You're either sad or nauseated.
I'm sad.
I was going to say sad. I don't know why I hedged.
Come on in. I was surprised to hear you were interested in joining our little team. Giving up on those trans-Neptunian objects, are we?
No, it's a very promising area. In a perfect world, I'd spend several more years on it. But I just couldn't pass up the opportunity to work with you on your tremendously exciting and not yet conclusively disproved hypothesis.
Splendid. Please sit down.
That was fun. Thank you.
Oh, Leonard, honey, you don't have to say thank you every time we have sex.
Oh, okay.
Dr. Koothrappali is your superior. I forbid you from riding on my board.
You are not my superior.
I am in every way.
Oh, yeah?
Can you do this? Nice working with you. I'm sorry, for you.
Raj.
I'm busy.
Doing what?
I hope it's all right. I told my girlfriend Bernadette she could join us for dinner.
Sure, the more the merrier.
Wait, no, that's a false equivalency. More does not equal marry. If there were 2,000 people in this apartment right now, would we be celebrating? No, we'd be suffocating. Research Journal, Entry 1. I'm about to embark on one of the great challenges of my scientific career. Teaching Penny physics. I'm calling it Project Gorilla.
Hey, Sheldon.
Come in. Take a seat. Subject has arrived. I've extended a friendly, casual greeting.
Ready to get started?
One moment. Subject appears well rested and enthusiastic. Apparently, ignorance is bliss.
Sheldon, I'm trying to understand, but you're going too fast. Can you just back up a little bit?
All right. It's a warm summer evening in ancient Greece.
Not that far back.
Okay.
Raj, you should have seen Leonard's experiment. The interference pattern was so cool when the electron beam was on.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. Most people aren't that interested in what I do.
Actually, that's not true, Leonard. In fact, recently I've been thinking that given the parameters of your experiment, the transport of electrons through the aperture of the nanofabricated metal rings is qualitatively no different than the experiment already conducted in the Netherlands. Their observed phase shift in the diffusing electrons inside the metal ring already conclusively demonstrated the electric analog of the Aronoff-Bohm quantum interference effect.
Wait, they get girlfriends and they just abandon us?
It is great, isn't it? We have a wonderful evening ahead of us.
We do?
Oh, yes. I just discovered I don't have enough room on my hard drive for a Linux partition. So, you and I are going to perform a full backup, reinitialize, and then reinstall all my operating systems.
I don't want to do that.
All right. Well, I'm going to perform a full backup, reinitialize, and then reinstall all my operating systems.
Well, then why don't we just go to the Galleria and walk around?
I don't need anything at the Galleria. Do you need anything at the Galleria?
No, we would just walk around and see what's what.
That's a semantically null sentence.
Come on, Sheldon. The world is filled with people doing things outside. Let's go outside. Outside is good.
If outside is so good, why has mankind spent thousands of years trying to perfect inside?
I'll show you another way to look at this. Here we have the universe of all women. Okay, these are the ones you want to sleep with. These are the women who believe exactly what you believe. These are the women who would be willing to sleep with you. And right there, in a little triple intersection, is your ideal mate. Odds are she's a short physicist with low self-esteem who lives in a government research facility in China.
Listen, I got a text from that girl, Abby, and she and her friend Martha want to hang out with us again. What do you say?
I don't say anything. I merely offer you a facial expression that suggests you've gone insane.
I don't get it. You had a great time.
Yes, exactly. I had a great time. That's done. I've moved on to other things. For example, after I learn Finnish, I'm not going to learn Finnish
Why didn't
again.
you tell me you knew Elizabeth Plimpton? I am a huge fan of hers.
I didn't realize I was obligated to share my connection with things you're a fan of. But very well. You enjoy Canadian bacon? I've been to Toronto. First, windows. Conventional. Open, closed, halfway open, or halfway closed, depending on your philosophical bent. Leonard, Penny wants to exploit any residual feelings you have for her in order to get a ride to work.
Sure, let me just put this in a travel mode.
Whoa, is that the laser? It's bitchin'.
Yes, in 1917, when Albert Einstein established the theoretic foundation for the laser in his paper Zur Quantentheorie der Strahlung, his fondest hope was that the resultant device be bitchin'.
Okay, what if I were to tell you tomorrow at 4:30 you could meet a woman who has been scientifically chosen to be your perfect mate?
I would snort in derision and throw my arms in the air, exhausted by your constant tomfoolery.
But it's true.
In any case, I'm here because my mother and I have agreed that I will date at least once a year.
Interesting. My mother and I have the same agreement about church.
I don't object to the concept of a deity, but I'm baffled by the notion of one that takes attendance.
Well, then you might want to avoid East Texas.
Noted. Now, before this goes any further, you should know that all forms of physical contact up to and including coitus are off the table.
You're wrong. Wolverine was not born with bone claws.
Howard, you know me to be a very smart man. Don't you think if I were wrong, I'd know it?
You know, I think this is one of those things where talking about it is not going to make it better. Want a glass of wine?
So much.
Okay. See, we should have done this last night, you know? Have a little wine, take the edge off.
Actually, ethyl alcohol inhibits electrical conduction in the nerve cells and stimulates reuptake receptors of inhibitory neurotransmitters like gamma-aminobutyric acid.
Don't talk, just drink.
Are we going to talk or are we going to play Mystic Warlords of Ka'a?
Just play a potion card.
Which one?
It doesn't matter. You can't possibly win.
Sheldon, don't ruin the game.
How could he ruin the game?
Given the cards that have already been played, Penny can only be holding necromancer potions, which are only effective against wraiths and daywalkers, and there are no more of either left to be drawn. The cards remaining in the undrawn stack are 4 fire weapons, a troll, 2 ogres, and the Jewel of Osiris.
See, ruined.
Sheldon, that is incredible.
From your vantage point, it certainly must seem so. The TV is gone.
So are our laptops.
Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God! It's all right. They didn't take my comic books.
Call this number and we'll fax you a copy of the report so you can submit it to the insurance company.
I'm sorry. That's the end of your inquiry?
Do you have any more information that might be relevant?
Oh, my goodness. Where do I begin? For instance, my laptop contained 4 out of the 5 Gedanken experiments necessary for a cogent restatement of the quantum measurement problem.
How is that going to help them?
Well, they could monitor scientific publications and see if anyone posts such a cogent restatement in the next couple of months. If so, the authors are most likely in possession of my stolen laptop.